On this episode of Fit with Mitch TV, I'm going to show you how to finally break those habits. And what is the purpose of life? Hey, it's your fitness coach, Mitch Graves, back again with another great episode of Fit with Mitch TV, episode 3. And in today's mind section, we're going to continue our series on how to break those habits, especially those habits that's been really sabotaging you and holding you back from the fitness success, the body success that you've been looking for. Now, in part 1 and part 2, we talked about the 3 parts of a habit, as laid out by his book, The Power of Habit, by a guy named Charles Duhigg. The first part of the habit, 3-part sequences, the cue, the routine, and the reward. Okay, in part 1, episode 1, we talked about the cue. What are your cues? Are they the time of day? Are they a certain person? Are they a certain mood? Is it something like that? What are your cues? And then part 2, the routine, is the actual habit itself. And we talked about not being able to break a habit, so to speak, but being able to replace a habit, right? And so once that neurological pathway is already made in your mind, just putting down a new track on that old pathway, so replacing that habit with something else. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the reward. What are those real rewards that you're looking for? So for instance, I watch Shark Tank sometimes, right? And I have this habit when I watch Shark Tank to go grab a thing of popcorn and watch Shark Tank. I don't know. It's just a habit that I created for myself. I grab some popcorn and watch Shark Tank. So what am I really looking for when I'm doing that? What's the real reward that I'm after in that moment? It's not just to have popcorn. Maybe what it is for me really in that moment is extra stimulation, all right? So it's something to do while I'm being passively entertained, right? We do this in the movie theater. We associate movie theater with popcorn. That's a trained behavior that we have along the way. And so analyzing your habits, whether it's eating, whether it's not exercising, whether it's procrastinating, whatever it is for you, whatever habit you know is holding you back from your success, analyze that habit. So I'm going to take eating, for example. There could be many reasons why you're eating, the actual reward behind eating, not just the food. So it could be an oral thing. You just need some oral stimulation. So you're chewing on something. It could be you're bored, and so you need some stimulation that way. So you want to get up and do something. It could be a way of connection, right? So if you're with a group of people, and say if you're at a birthday party or a wedding or something like that, so you eat to connect with other people. Or if you feel lonely and you want to connect with someone else, you go and eat as a part of your social connection. It could be you feeling out of control, so you eat as a way to make yourself feel in control again. Say, look, I can control this. It makes me feel better. I'm in control once again, and so we can do those things. What is the real reward? And see, now here's the trick. Once you really understand that reward that you're after, now you can use that cue, that whether it's that mood, that time of day, the habit, or it's a Shark Tank or whatever it is, you can use that cue and put a new routine, a new habit in place that's going to get you the same reward. Does that make sense? So if your thing is oral stimulation, if you just a certain time of day triggers you to stimulate your mouth, then you could go chew on some gum. Or you could substitute another kind of food that's going to give you the same crunch or the same salty feeling or something like that, or the same sweetness or the same just moving of your mouth. If you need to get up and go do something, if you want to be social, you can find another way to get up and be social. There's all kinds of ways. If you need just mental stimulation because you're bored, you can play a game on your phone. You can write something out. All kinds of ways. So find out what your reward is. Put a new habit in place that's not going to sabotage you. That's actually going to empower you, move you toward your goal. Maybe it's some type of exercise. Maybe it's a different kind of food. Whatever it is for you. All right. So lay down a new habit. Find out what your reward is. Lay down a new habit. Use those same triggers. Cue, routine, reward. And that's how you're going to break those habits. You're going to create new ones, and it's going to propel you to your success. All right, guys. So that was our mind section. Time to go on over to our body section. Hey, welcome back to our body section of Fit with Mitch TV. And on our body section, we're going to have a 4-exercise circuit. And you're going to do each exercise anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, depending on your fitness level. And I'm going to give you some options. And this exercise circuit is going to start out with your legs and going to end with your core. It's going to be a really good way to get your heart rate up, get your metabolism going, burn some calories real quick, whether on your lunch break or just want to get a quick exercise in the morning, or even just to finish off a workout that you've done before. So it's going to be a really quick, short way to just, bam, get in there, down and dirty. So the first exercise is going to be a pulsing lunge on one leg, so up and down on the other leg. Second exercise is going to really get your heart rate up and really flush out the lactic acid that just built up in those legs. Is going to be a 180-degree frog hop. Third exercise is going to hit your glutes and your lower back, a single leg glute bridge. And then finally, the fourth exercise is going to target your obliques. It's going to be a side plank crunch. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. Exercise number 1 is going to be a pulsing lunge. So I'm going to stand to the side to demonstrate a little bit better for you. Come here, get a good split squat stance. Now, on my lunge, I'm going to allow my foot to come over. I'm going to allow my knee to come over my foot, but not over my toe. All right, there's a big difference. Over my foot, but not over my toe. Keep your body straight up. Keep your core tight. You're going to go straight up and straight down. You're going to go all the way down, halfway up. You get a good pulse in. 1, 2. All right, you're going to do this. One leg, 15 to 30 seconds. Then you're going to come here, switch legs. Boom, 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 boom. All right? So that is your pulsing squat. There's your pulsing lunge. Exercise number 2. Going to demonstrate is going to be a 180-degree frog hop. Now, I'm going to demonstrate the proper stance here. It's going to be a 45-degree angle with your feet. Knees come out again over your foot, but not over your toe. You're going to sumo squat down. Keep your chest up, hands down. So instead of your knees coming forward like a normal squat, your knees are going to go out over your feet, off at an angle. You're going to be targeting your inner thighs. I'm going to demonstrate from the side to show you this way. So come here. 180, hop, boom. All right. One hop is going to be one rep. Well, you're going to be doing it for 15 to 30 seconds. So just hop, boom, boom. All right. Opposite direction each time so you don't get dizzy. You're going to keep hopping back and forth like that. That's going to be your 180-degree frog hop. Okay, so our third exercise is going to be a single leg glute bridge. You're going to target your glutes and your hamstrings. All right, so we're going to come here and your lower back. Coming here, one leg up, other leg firmly planted on the ground. Drive this foot to the ceiling, drive that foot into the floor. I'm just going to press up like this, boom. Elevate my hips until my hips are in line with my knee and back down. Press, 1. Again, 15 to 30 seconds per leg. Come here, switch, drive it down. If you need an option, put both feet down. You want to modify the movement and drive it up. If you want to make it more challenging, you can add a weight. If you have a weight, you can add a weight right here on your crotch. Not here on your stomach, right here on your crotch, and then press it up that way. All right. Okay, finally, the fourth exercise is going to be a side plank crunch. All right, so coming here, you're going to plank up, find it up to a plank position, shoulder over your elbow, one line from your ear to your ankle. Coming up, drive that knee in, make sure you get a good crunch down that way. If you need an option, you can bend that bottom leg, keep that bottom leg, keep the hip up, and do it that way. All right. Again, 15 to 30 seconds per side, depending on your fitness level. Okay. So that was our body section. Again, do each exercise 15 to 30 seconds as a continuous circuit, back to back to back. If you need a break at the end of your circuit, you can take about a minute, no more than 2, and then go back and do it again. Repeat that circuit as many times as you feel like you can, or as many times as you want to, within a lot of time. Minimum of two, all right? You can push on up to 4, maybe even 5 circuits if you really want to get after it. It's going to be a great workout, hit your legs. And again, you can do all kinds of things. You do 15 seconds the first set, and do 17, 18 seconds to 20 seconds the third set, 25 seconds the fourth set, 30 seconds the fifth set. Or the other way down, however you want to do it. All right? So that's going to be a great workout for you. It's going to get that heart pumping, get that lactic acid burning in those legs. It's going to rev that metabolism up. All right, so that's our body section. Now on to our spirit section. Hey, welcome back to our spirit section. And in this section, we're going to be talking about the broader meaning, the broader purpose. And what is the real purpose of life? What is the real meaning of life? Have you ever asked that question of yourself? I know I have. It's a question that we all asked when we were a kid, right? And it's a good reason why we ask that question as a kid. And it's actually a question we should never stop asking throughout our life. Now, you may ask yourself, Mitch, what does purpose have to do with my physical health? Well, I would say it has to do everything with your physical health. Because without a purpose, without a meaning, you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. You're just getting in shape just to get in shape. Why? What's the real purpose behind it? And here's a tip. Whenever you connect a purpose to something that's larger than you, something that's bigger than you, it's going to give you the fuel. Whenever you get clear on your why, it's going to give you the fuel that you need to move forward and propel yourself to your goals. Tony Robbins has a saying. He says, reasons come first, answers come second. So talking about your purpose, Ralph Waldo Emerson has a great quote that talks about purpose. He says, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, and to be compassionate, to have meant something that you have lived and lived well. So I'm going to repeat that because I kind of messed it up. He said, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have meant something that you have lived and that you have lived well, or have made a difference that you have lived and lived well. So that's my question to you. Are you living just to be happy? Because see, happy is just such a short-sighted, just me about me pursuit. And I know the Declaration of Independence says the pursuit of happiness, yes. But the pursuit of not just your happiness, but the happiness of the nation. Now we're getting closer to something. So I'll give you an example of my own life. My own purpose is, my own mission statement is to help people overcome their spiritual, mental, and physical limitations to live a life of freedom that God has intended them to live. That's the entire reason I'm doing this episode right now. That's the reason I stay in shape. That's the reason I do all that I do, is so that I can be prepared to help people overcome those limitations. And so that's why this show is broken up into 3 parts: your spiritual, your physical, and your mental. And so I ask you today, what is your purpose? What are you really living for outside of yourself? Have you connected it to something? Have you connected it to being useful, to being honorable, to being compassionate, or whatever it is for you? Have you stopped and written that down? Get clear on your purpose, and I guarantee you, your fitness, your health is going to have meaning other than just being in shape and looking good, all right? So think about that today. It is going to be our spirit section. Okay, welcome back. Finally, here comes our word of the day. It's going to leave you with a piece of encouragement right here. Our word of the day is expectation. Raise your level of expectation. Dr. J had a great saying. He said, expect more of yourself than anyone else. That was a secret to his success. And I remember Michael Jordan had a quote one time. He said, the reason I'm so successful in what I do is that whenever I step on the court, I'm competing against myself. They're competing against me. I'm competing against myself. So he wasn't out there trying to beat everybody else. Michael Jordan was out there trying to beat Michael Jordan. That's crazy when you really stop and think about it. So what are your levels of expectations for yourself? I challenge you today. My motivation, my encouragement for you today is to raise your level of expectation. Why? Because you deserve it. Everyone else around you deserves it. They deserve you to be at your best. They deserve you to raise your level of expectation. They deserve you to raise your standards, because guess what? Nobody else is going to do that for you. And here's the thing. You need to be the trendsetter in your own life, right? Raise the standards for yourself. Raise the level of expectation of what you expect yourself to be capable of, and then go forward and live that out. All right, guys, so that's my word of the day for you. Remember to subscribe subscribe below. Leave a comment. Let me know what your purpose is. Let me know how you're going to raise your level of expectation. Go forward and go and do this thing, guys. It's time to get started. It's time to change your mind and change your body. Okay, it's been my pleasure. Mitch Graves, Fit with Mitch TV. Episode 3 is a wrap. All right, I look forward to seeing you in your comments. And remember to live, learn, grow, and glorify. Later.